Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm gonna share with you this Sverchok Node 3 setup that basically generates some kind of Japanese lamp. So I was looking at this all this design of Japanese lamps. There are plenty of them, and they're pretty amazing. Even though they're super simple, but kind of nice to study them. And I especially like the simple one, like a square like this, or even the rounded one like this, or even this one is kind of ingenious. That's kind of a very interesting design, like umbrella, and it has this all this interesting structure. There's a lot of them. There's even the one that's made of. It looks like a little bit more like a temple, but I like the one that's kind of like simple like this, just like a paper. We can probably design the paper part. So I decided to make it inside Blender using Sverchok. So I came out with something like this. So this guy is actually made up of only 3 parts, not actually that complicated. We can have a bit of flexibility with this. So this is what I got at the moment. I could actually add some kind of detailing like this. So that's, I think, quite nice. Can adjust the height and probably adjust the leg as well, how it's tilting. And yeah, I think there's a few interestingness happening here, a lot of funny little hack that I did with Sverchok. But yeah, I think this is quite nice and I want to share it with you. So let's try to break this down. I actually started with a cylinder nodes. This is how I started, the one at the top here, the pink color one. So this guy, just basically a cylinder, and I get rid of the top cap. So that's actually how I started. And the next thing what I did was to select just the outer part here, just the edges. And I'm using Sverchok adaptive polygon. That's the usual suspect. With the adaptive polygons, I made this kind of setup here with plane and an offset, remove doubles, extrude region. So I get this kind of design. Actually pretty basics there, but still kind of interesting. So this is what I started with. Just this, what do you call it, like a grid, but this thing has a frame. So this frames is getting adapted into the cylinder, so that's why I get the green part. So that's the second part. And the next thing what I did is actually to create the legs. The legs actually push the 2 structure at the top. So yeah, with the legs, nothing too fancy with the legs, just another cylinder, and I'm using UV connection. I get this line, the edges, and the edges apparently works really well with duplicate along edges, except that I need to make a little bit of changes to the position. If I didn't use the position is a bit wrong. See, I need to use a circle to place the position of the legs properly. But you can actually get something quite fancy if you have like a multiple legs like this. This is duplicate along edge is very powerful as it is, and you can also like have this kind of control over the padding. Can be for other purpose, but for what we are doing, you're just gonna have like one count and kind of put it on the exactly on the edge. So yeah, a lot of cylinder nodes everywhere, but I found it very interesting that all these nodes, simply by place them together, you get like a new kind of design, or like a familiar design. In this case, of course, the Japanese lantern. Yeah, imagine you just need to replace the outer side. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. This is the different kind of lantern design. maybe that's a nice thing to do as well. But I think I really like this Japanese lantern. That's you can simply replace the paper and then you get a different pattern. Could be really nice. Yeah, this is the one we are actually making. Yeah, that's very similar. And this guy for the legs, as actually we can make it rounded. So yeah, that's kind of nice. So this seems to work really well. Yeah, so that's I guess pretty much it for this live noding. It's pretty basic how I quickly break it down, but it just requires a little bit of thinking, and then you think about it. Each part can start with like a basic primitives, like in this case cylinder, and you kind of think about, okay, how is the placement gonna be? Can we kind of cheat using all kind of Sverchok like power nodes, like adaptive polygons and adaptive edges. I wish that adaptive edges will just work, but I'm using duplicate objects along edge. That seems to work better in this case. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this live noding. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.